Hi everyone, welcome back to Bram Lagrou here on YouTube. Today's topic is about how to turn a setback in business into a golden opportunity. Many times when I speak with people in professional and financial services, and particularly that up-and-coming talent, the future leaders as we sometimes dub them, I hear these people say, hey, you know what, I feel that somehow either myself or my team has let this particular prospect down. And somehow the business dried up or it was taken away from us. Here is your way to establish your name and your brand within the brand to show good faith to the prospect and potentially either win the business nonetheless or win back whatever you lost previously. Think about it this way. If you are on the receiving end, and let's just say that you are an existing client that somehow the company did the wrong thing by, and I got upset. We perhaps had a few discussions, and I just decided, hey, I will walk away and I take it to another competitive firm. This is where you come in. You would pretty much say, look, and this is only what you can do if you are genuine about it. You cannot fake sincerity. It is you sincerely tuning in with your feelings, and if you feel that the customer was entitled to feel upset because of the service or disservice they received from your firm, then here's what that could sound like. You could, for example, write a note or preferably even pick up the phone and ring in and say, hey, Mr. Such and Such or Mrs. Such and Such, it's Bram here from company that you represent. I just want to let you know that I feel sorry for what we've done, and I really would like to set things straight. And I wonder if you would be available to have a one-on-one conversation in the next 2 weeks so that you and I can work through things so that at least our relationship is intact. What you will find is if you have this sort of approach, because this could even be over a voicemail, if you really tune in with your sincere feelings and you communicate those feelings back to the customer, that customer will really appreciate where you're coming from, and most of the time he or she will say, of course, I would love to sit down with you and discuss it through. This is your way to actually get back on it. Let me share with you many of my clients who have done this approach, and even including myself, where had somehow screwed up for the customer, and the customer got upset and perhaps angry, and like I said, may have taken business away. We reached out in this very way, and as a result, we had a very meaningful, candid conversation, and candidness in business goes very far. So having that sort of, the persistence and also sincerity to come out and admit, hey, we did the wrong thing by you. Could we sit down and discuss this through together so that at least our relationship, can benefit from this? This is in a way, it helps you to have that open conversation and work through the challenges and issues, and really also have the client voice back what they would expect from you next time, or what ideally they would get from a service provider like you in the future, knowing what they now know. And that can really give you a lot of feedback in terms of how you and the firm can improve for future references and other clients. But also, when it's done really well, it's an opportunity to either win the business that you didn't have yet, or whatever you lost to actually gain at least part of it back. Because again, this is where you then commit to what you would do moving forward. So in a way, if you were to somehow use a 3-step approach on this, first, you would reach out to them and admit, mea culpa, I'm sorry, we failed you. And secure a meeting to discuss it face to face. Secondly, in the meeting, you would reinstate the same message and ask the client to share what their feelings and thought were in the process of you letting them down. And then, as you rekindle this, establish whether or not there's an opening for something else. And you could do this by the next thing, which is your question. Let me ask you, now that I know what you think and feel about how we let you down, in the future, let's just say that you would find your ideal service provider. How or what exactly would you love him to do for you so that they really would stand out from everything else that you have previously had. Now, if you leave this open and you really take note and listen to this and welcome any ideas they have, you write it down, then your next point then would be, you know what? I feel very strongly, and only once again if you mean this, you could say, I feel very strongly about this. I reckon that I can actually fulfill that role for you, and this is how I actually commit to you. If you were to give me, if you were to put your trust back in me, I will take the reins of this. I will be your lead ally within the firm, and here is how I suggest us to move forward. How would you like that? You know? And you just again ask it openly. Let's just say that they may be holding off the bone because they got burned really badly. Then you could say, come on, what do you got to risk if I actually take the burden on it? And you may actually throw in something which you would do in good favor for them, free of charge, just to prove and demonstrate your credibility. And if they would be happy with it, ask if they then would be willing to again continue working with you and the firm on. This is pretty much my suggestion for you, to really not just let a so-called lost opportunity dry up and evaporate and see all of your time and efforts that you put in dry up as well. No, it's about turning it into an opportunity to demonstrate even more value, and you being able to, you know, admit that something went wrong, listen to it and welcome it, and welcome it with an open mind, and then looking for an opportunity to continue on at least some business in the future. I look forward to your comments. I appreciate you joining me here today, and I wish you a fantastic day.